Hey, what's up? You made it to the other account. So this is part 2 of the video of my first ever kidnapping stalking story time. So if you want to see the first half, I'm gonna post it on here as well. If you want to see the second half, you're here, so enjoy. It was really hot, so I wanted to go down by the river. So I was looking for a buddy to go with me. No one was available, everyone was busy. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go by myself to the river. I'm gonna chill and I'm gonna have a good time. That's what I thought. Like I'm alone in a forest and the only other person here is this elderly man who like looked me up and down and asked me if I was a nice girl with like this shady smile. What do I hear? I hear running footsteps behind me. I hear this running. I turn around and it is a different young man who is actually just running in the forest. Clickbait! Just kidding. My story does not end there. So, I get to a spot on the beach and I'm like really hot. So I'm like, okay, there's nowhere I can sit down on this beachfront. Like there's not a place for me to sit. I didn't find a place where I could sit down. So I was just like, okay, whatever. I'll just dip my feet in. Whatever. I dip my feet in. It's really cold. So there was a duck, it like flew away when I got closer, which is fine. I don't hold it against the duck. I'm just chilling. That's the point. I'm chilling. But then I'm like, you know what? This place is just not what I was looking for. Let me see if I can't find the place where I usually go with my friends where we can actually sit on something and dip our feet in at the same time. So I kept going in this forest. I see another, my gosh. Anyway, let me try not to say, I keep walking in the forest and trying to look for that spot where I can sit down and dip my feet in, be chilling. And eventually I find something like it. There's one lady on the beach. Like this is a place with actual sand now. There's a hill. Like I'm a visual learner, so let me just map it out for you. Okay, so I'm here. This is the hill. There's a hill and there is grass. Like there's grass longer than this grass in this forest. This is still connected to the ground. There's long grass, like, covering me, and then there's like a cliff. So there's the hill with the sand, the grass, there's like a path with sand, but other than that, it's grass, trees, forest, all that. And then there's a cliff kind of, and then there's a place that's more like a beach, and then there's the water. So I go to the beach, I find a nice rock, I sit on it, I'm chilling, dipping my feet in, having a good time, still lonely, but I'm like, you know what? It's a really hot day, so I'm glad I at least got to dip my feet in the water. And then what do I see when I'm sitting down? Let me just map this out, because like you won't believe it. I'm just sitting, imagine I'm here. The forest where I came from is over there. So through the grass, I'm on a hill. Keep in mind, I'm at the bottom of a hill, of a cliff kind of thing. So I can see through the grass. I can see anyone through the grass, but they shouldn't be able to see me because the grass is really tall and I'm like downhill. Unless you were looking, you could not see anyone there. Tell me why I see this man, the same man with the gold tooth, the old man who said, "You're a nice girl," and looked me up and down like that. Tell me why I see this man in the forest looking straight at me through the grass. Straight at me. He was like looking like he was looking around, and then he meets my gaze. I didn't think he could see me, so I was just like staring at him because I'm like, no, there's no way this man is here. Because he was going the opposite way I was when we were walking. Like we crossed paths, he was going this way, I was going this way. We were going opposite ways. Instead of going towards the sand, which was really close, he could have easily gone to the sand and then gone to the water if that's what he was trying to do. Tell me why he goes straight towards me through the grass on this random hill. There was only one other lady there, and she was just chilling on the beach on the sand. And, it was just me and her there. And then she starts packing up, and I'm like, no, never be alone in a place with a stranger who you don't know and you're not comfortable with. So I was like, let me not be rude and like run, but let me get the heck out of here. So I take my flip-flops, my dashikis in my hands. I'm freaking, trying to be casual, going up the sand, and I'm like, I know where a public spot is. So let me just tell you something. If you're ever being followed by someone, Go to a public place. If you feel like anyone is ever following you and it's just you and that person, go to where you know there's a public place, or get on the phone, or even, this is what I've heard from online and I trust it. If you feel like somebody's following you, turn around and ask them, "Hey, do you know what time it is?" Like, just ask them a random question like that. And then if they tell you, okay, you can nod and be like, "Okay, thank you," and move on. If they know that you've acknowledged them and then you turn around and see them again, they're gonna know that you've caught on. Anyway, that's just something to do. So something was not right. I was like, in my head, I was freaking out. I was like, okay, I'm not getting kidnapped, not today, not in my dashiki dress, in the forest, all by myself. I see this man who's making eye contact and coming towards me through the bush instead of just going to the sand. So I'm like, no, not today. I'm not getting kidnapped. So I'm like, I am not that YouTuber who's like my stalker, my kidnapper, or whatever. I'm like, I am not having a story time happen to me. But, here we are. Anyway, because the thing is, when he started coming, the other woman, the only other person who was there with me on that beach, left. So I'm like, I'm not gonna be alone here. I like walked up the hill to where I knew was a public place, there was a park nearby. So I walked to the park, and then as soon as I got up the hill, man, I sprinted. I ran so fast. I was like, you are not gonna catch me, not today, Satan. It was Sabbath, it was the Lord's day. I'm like, this man is not gonna catch me. I'm not gonna get kidnapped. So I went up the hill, I got to the park, I was like panting and out of breath, and I saw some people I know from church. I said hi to them, and then this is the thing. So where I was standing, there was a park, a playground for kids, and then there was like a walkway, and then places where people can picnic, and then there was the bathrooms, and then there was the parking lot. I was like, if I go on this path through the picnicking place, if this man's really following me, he's gonna be able to see me all the way. Like, wherever I go, he's gonna be able to see me because it's just like flat. And I was like, okay, but if I go through the parking lot, he's not going to expect that. If I'm in a car, he's not going to catch me. Man, I went through the parking lot and I walked all the way back to church. I walked my ass back to church because I'm not going to get kidnapped. And I get there and I tell everybody, like I tell my cousins, I don't tell everybody, just my friends and my cousins, yo, guys, like, I have a story time for YouTube, like right there. When I tell you I was freaking triggered, I was triggered, but that's still not gonna stop me from going to the beach. And I have gone to this beachfront like several times when I was younger, like 15 or 16 years old, by myself. None of this has ever happened before. I'm 17 and this is the first time this is happening. Probably not the last, thanks to the world we live in. For those of y'all wondering, this is a dashiki print skirt, and this is what I was wearing on the day. This is my exact outfit. It was really hot, so obviously I'm gonna wear no sleeve and stuff, and like, this is just what you wear, like, it was really hot, so I think I have the right to not be wearing full length a nun outfit to be comfortable in the weather. This is the moral of the story. Don't travel alone if it's possible at all. Unfortunately, in this world, it's not exactly safe for females to travel alone, especially if you're a young woman. People see you as vulnerable or whatever. So I would advise you to always go with a friend. I know it sucks that people in this world, are kind of creepy, but that's the way it is. I don't like to judge people. I really like to assume the best. But there are certain times, especially if you feel unsafe, where you can't give people the benefit of the doubt sometimes, because unfortunately in this world, like, not everyone has good intentions. It's okay to be polite, but as the second you feel uncomfortable in a situation, especially for the ladies here, feel free to leave a situation. You're not being rude, you're just being safe, because in this world, it's not set up so that you can be both polite and safe at the same time all the time. That's what I would just like to say. I didn't feel bad, but I know there are a lot of guys out there who are like, oh my gosh, I can't approach a girl or even start conversation with a girl because, she's gonna think I'm a stalker, she's gonna think I'm creepy. Unfortunately for those guys and for girls, this world is just full of creepy people in general. And unfortunately, I'm filming this on my cell phone because my camera died. and the battery's like messed up. To finish the thought I was gonna say before my storage cut me off, if you are being stalked, go to a public place and talk to someone you know. Like, you can pick up your phone, dial someone you know, and just talk to them until you get to a safe place. Or there's this app, I'll link it down below. It's a perfect app. I think it's important to be safe in this world. And I know, like, a lot of people feel like they're being mean or being rude. It's not rude to be safe. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something from it. If you would like more of this, please leave me a thumbs up. If you think I'm interesting to watch, please leave me a thumbs up. If you have a story of your own, leave it in the comments below. This is like a chat forum where you guys can share your stories with me just as much as I share my stories with you. If I'm not looking at the camera, it's because I'm looking at, like, I'm checking the lighting and all that. Anyway, I'm gonna go back home. I'm in my neighborhood, but I'm gonna go back to my house so I can eat supper. I'm gonna re-add all the apps I had to delete to make this video because there's no storage. And I will see you guys next time. Stay classy. Ooh, stay safe and stay classy. I'm gonna add that, man. I'ma keep on running because the winner don't quit on themselves. How many times have I said Like, this is just,